Let me ask you this question. Are you a leader? It's a simple question, but to answer this question, you have to be truthful with yourself. You see, the world is filled with people chasing power, but very few understand the weight of leadership. Because leadership, my friends, is not about being out front. Leadership is about being rooted. Now I want you to listen closely. A leader is not just someone who climbs the mountain. A leader is someone who clears a path, then reaches back for the next one in line. True leadership is never selfish. It is never loud for the sake of noise. And it does not seek comfort. It seeks conviction. I remember once, I was no older than some of you in this room. I was asked to step forward in Montgomery, Alabama, not because I was the oldest or the richest or even the wisest, but because I was willing to stand when others sat down, willing to speak when others stayed silent, willing to love when it would have been easier to hate. Now let me be honest with you. I did not feel ready. There were nights I laid awake, my heart pounding not from bravery, but from fear. There were days I wondered if I was walking into light or into fire. But leadership is not about being fearless. It's about having the courage to walk forward in spite of fear. One of the greatest traits of a leader is not certainty, but clarity. A leader must see further than others are willing to look and believe in what others are too tired to keep hoping for. And even more than that, a leader must be ready to walk alone before anyone else joins the march. Let me tell you about a lesson I once learned, not from a preacher or a politician, but from a janitor named Elijah. Now, Elijah worked the basement of a church where we once organized meetings. He'd sweep the floors late at night after all the sermons were done and the crowds had gone home. One evening I asked him, "Why do you stay so late, brother? Why keep cleaning after all these years?" He looked up from his broom and said, "Because if I clean this house right, maybe the word will echo better. Maybe somebody's soul will catch it." Now that, my friends, is leadership. Leadership is when you do unseen work with eternal purpose. Leadership is when you understand that your position is not your power. Your purpose is. So many today want to lead, but few want to serve. Few want to listen. Few want to bleed. Few want to build without recognition. But if you want to be a leader, then you must first learn to be last in line. You must learn to let your actions speak louder than your image. You must learn to stand for something, even if it costs you everything. Because true leadership is not popularity. It is principle. It is not manipulation. It is moral vision. It is not domination. It is devotion to something greater than yourself. Now, I often get asked, "Dr. King, what makes someone a leader?" And I say to them, it's not the degrees on your wall, not the size of your audience, not the sharpness of your suit, but the gentleness of your character. Do you lift others up? Do you listen to the cries of the overlooked? Do you stay steady when the winds blow? That is leadership. It is slow. It is steady. It is silent more often than it is seen. And yet, it moves mountains. I have stood before microphones, and I have sat in jail cells. I have marched with thousands, and I have wept alone. And in all of it, I have learned this. The leader is not the one who seeks the light, but the one who becomes it. So if you want to lead, lead with humility, lead with love, lead when no one follows, and lead even more when they do. Because the world does not need more bosses. The world does not need more stars. The world needs leaders, the kind who walk like truth, speak like peace, and live like justice. My friends, we don't rise to leadership. We fall into service. And from that service, we are raised into something greater than titles.